Louisiana Oil and Gas Association, and go by the name of LOGA. We represent exploration and production companies as well as service companies. Anyone related to the oil and gas industry is represented by our group. We are basically a lobbying firm on the industry's behalf to protect it from different regulations and also from different fees that are being, obviously the current topic right now is people looking for revenue streams, and right now we're defending our position in a lot of those, and also educating the legislators on what's new technology and how we compare to other states across the country and how we need to be competitive going forward. The first meeting in New Orleans 25 years ago, there were 25 people. And so now I believe we're over 350 or 400 people today at the event. We have over 750 companies, which represents over 15,000 families. And so we represent a large number of people with the state who struggle right now through the downturn, but it looks like a lot of optimism. Hopefully we're on our way up, and so that's our mission, is to make sure that we take care of our people. The first meeting in New Orleans 25 years ago, there were 25 people, and so now I believe we're over 350 or 400 people today at the event. We have over 750 companies, which represents over 15,000 families, and so we represent a large number of people with the state who struggle right now through the downturn, but it looks like a lot of optimism. Hopefully we're on our way up, and so that's our mission, is to make sure that we take care of our people.
LOGA, for the most part, as you know, they represent small oil and gas companies, mom and pop companies. Many of them are third generation companies, and so they're an advocate. They help us in the legislature understand how legislation that we're passing or considering will affect all of those businesses, and so it's a very important voice and a group that's very important to me.
Well, one of the main issues that continue to be is the legacy lawsuits and the coastal zone litigious issues as far as companies being sued. And so that's one of our main topics, and we're addressing that. It's an ongoing battle. Tax issues are an ongoing battle. And so mostly revenue driven is who's going to get the revenue and who's going to pay the revenue is what we focus on and what we have to defend.
It's the same challenges that we've always had, and that's making sure we're not oversupplying the market, but we certainly want to supply sufficiently the market, and we're able to do that today with the American energy renaissance is brought about by horizontal drilling, and so it's been a phenomenal thing. It's been a great thing for oil and gas. And it's also been a great thing for the American consumers.
The legacy lawsuits in Louisiana, as it applies here, is so if a Company A comes on and buys, leases on a particular piece of property anywhere in the state, but particularly in South Louisiana, and right now and conducts operations, the way the laws are set up, once you touch that property and you do any operations on that property, you can be called into a lawsuit for any operations in the past, all the way back to the early 1900s. So any of your predecessor companies that were involved on this piece of property, even though they may have, if they did anything bad, even if they adhered to the rules at the time as provided by the state and the state agencies, those come into play now. And so that's a big issue right now. And that's a lot of the reasons that a lot of companies across the country, their boards of directors are preventing people from coming to do business in South Louisiana in particular, because this is kind of the mecca of where the legacy lawsuits are.
What kind of an impact have you seen on this over the years?
Oh, well, there's a study by LSU and David Dubuque's over there at the Energy Center. It's thousands and thousands of jobs and billions of revenue that could have come to the state. And with the shale revolution and the development of technology across the country, it's really hard to quantify exactly what it has cost the state in terms of getting of opportunities that could have been here without these legacy lawsuits.
Probably the single biggest challenge in Louisiana, of course, other than price, which is a challenge for everyone, but one of the biggest challenges that we have right now are the legacy lawsuits and the coastal lawsuits. I've traveled all around the state and met with executives from lots of different companies, and the message is very clear that the lawsuits and the business climate are preventing companies from feeling confident in investing in our state at the time.
What kind of an impact does the oil and gas industry have on Louisiana's economy?
Well, to quote doctor friends of mine, CPA friends of mine, everybody in South Louisiana is involved in the oil industry, and now in North Louisiana with all the activity up there. So it affects everyone. There's no 6 degrees of separation. There's probably a 1.5. If you're not in the oil industry, by way of default, you are. And so that's it's just what we do. It's our core, and then we're blessed to have those resources, and it's our responsibility to develop them in a responsible manner, but also to provide jobs for our people.
LOGA has played a very important role through the years. It's really important to me. We fought some battles through the years, with, for instance, when Venezuela was dumping oil in this country in 1998, 1999, LOGA was one of the first state associations that joined into a trade case that we launched as Save Domestic Oil. And we won that simply by filing. They knew they were guilty, and they dropped it like a hot rock.
On the 25th anniversary, what I would like people to understand is that no matter what you hear from the press and from a certain group of lawyers, that we live here, everyone in our industry works here and is part of the community as well. The oil and gas industry contributes billions and billions of dollars to coastal restoration already, and gives back to the communities in charitable events and helping organizations tenfold. And so we are every bit a part of your community across the state as any other organization, if not more.
If people have questions like more information, what should they do?
You could go to our LOGA website, and they have phone numbers that you can contact depending on what area your question is. We have people that handle different areas, and we'll have access to that. And also there's informational tidbits on the website as well.